Trump invokes 18th century law to expedite deportations. Federal judge quickly halts it. The Trump administration's latest immigration crackdown faced a legal roadblock Saturday night after a federal judge issued an order temporarily blocking the deportations of hundreds of Venezuelan migrants. The dramatic series of events unfolded as President Donald Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, a wartime statute granting expansive presidential powers to justify mass deportations of suspected gang members. However, just hours later, U.S. District Judge James E. Boasberg intervened, citing due process concerns and the immediate harm posed to the deportees. A controversial move, deporting without due process. President Trump's decision to use the Alien Enemies Act marks one of the most aggressive expansions of executive immigration powers in modern history. Historically, the law has only been invoked 3 times, and always in wartime, most notably during World War II when it was used to detain Japanese Americans, German nationals, and Italian nationals. On Friday night, Trump signed a proclamation declaring the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua a direct threat to U.S. national security. The administration argued that the gang, which originated in Venezuelan prisons, had expanded its operations into the United States. By invoking the Alien Enemies Act, Trump sought to bypass traditional immigration procedures, allowing for the immediate deportation of individuals the government identified as gang members. In the face of rising crime and escalating cartel activity, we must take swift and decisive action, Trump stated in his proclamation. These criminals are an invasion force, preying on Americans and exploiting our broken immigration system. Legal challenge and judicial intervention. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, and Democracy Forward quickly filed a lawsuit, arguing that the proclamation lacked due process and was unconstitutional. The legal teams representing the Venezuelan migrants contended that the Alien Enemies Act was never meant to be used against criminal organizations, but rather against enemy nations during wartime. Judge Boasberg, responding to the urgency of the case, held a hearing late Saturday evening. During the proceedings, he questioned the legal justification for using an 18th century law to expel alleged gang members without individual hearings or legal representation. "I do not believe I can wait any longer and am required to act," Boasberg declared as he issued his emergency stay on deportations. The order blocked the immediate removal of hundreds of detainees and mandated that any deportation flights already in progress be halted and redirected. Political and legal fallout. The ruling sparked sharp criticism from Attorney General Pam Bondi, who accused the judiciary of overreach. This order disregards well-established authority regarding President Trump's power and puts the public and law enforcement at risk, Bondi stated. Trump administration officials also warned that Boasberg's ruling could encourage further gang violence and undermine national security efforts. Deputy Assistant Attorney General Drew Ensign defended Trump's decision, arguing that the law allows the president broad discretion to identify and expel threats to the country. Ensign cited a 1948 Supreme Court ruling that permitted the prolonged detention of a German national under the Alien Enemies Act as precedent for the administration's actions. On the other side, Lee Gellert of the ACLU argued that Trump's move dangerously expanded executive power. If allowed to stand, this proclamation would grant the president the ability to deport individuals without due process, simply by declaring them an enemy, Gellert warned. The broader implications. Beyond the immediate legal battle, the case raises concerns about executive overreach and the erosion of traditional legal protections for migrants. Immigration advocates fear that if Trump's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act is upheld, it could set a precedent for future administrations to use wartime powers to sidestep due process in deportation cases. Moreover, critics worry that this could open the door for the designation of other criminal organizations, such as MS-13, as equivalent to enemy nations, further expanding presidential authority. The Trump administration has already classified Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization, a move that allows for harsher legal penalties against its members. Next steps, legal battle ahead. Judge Boasberg's order is temporary, set to last for up to 14 days. A more extensive hearing is scheduled for Friday, where the court will determine whether to issue a longer-term injunction against the administration's actions. Legal experts anticipate a protracted battle, with the case potentially reaching the Supreme Court. If the administration successfully defends its interpretation of the Alien Enemies Act, it could grant the executive branch unprecedented authority over immigration enforcement. Meanwhile, advocacy groups are scrambling to provide legal aid to those affected by the deportation orders. Many of the migrants targeted under Trump's proclamation claim they have no gang affiliation and fear persecution if returned to their home countries. Conclusion: the unfolding battle over Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act highlights deep divisions in U.S. immigration policy and executive authority. While the administration argues it is taking necessary steps to protect national security, civil rights groups and legal experts warn that such actions could dismantle fundamental constitutional protections. As the case progresses, the outcome will not only determine the fate of hundreds of Venezuelan migrants, but also set a critical precedent for the limits of presidential power in immigration enforcement. Whether Trump's bold maneuver withstands legal scrutiny remains to be seen, but for now, the judiciary has sent a strong signal that even in the face of executive urgency, due process must be upheld. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos about the current news and trends, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for updates of our most current videos.